And I was so nervous because, like, I just think about how difficult it is sometimes to just do normal life stuff.
There was not a dry eye in the park.
Just taking a moment to realize who your neighbors are, what you can do when you do show up, and you show up different, and you put focus on something other than yourself for just a minute.
We don't expect them to be perfect. We know, we know they have special needs. Yeah. We've seen over 700 come through our program. Yeah. We've seen what it looks like.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Barndo Show. I'm your host, TJ, and today I'm here with a very special friend of mine, Miss Pam Dean. So, Pam, you are with Carolina Miracle League, which is something that's very near and dear to my heart, and it's become like part of the culture of Barndo Company. And so, just want to take a minute and talk a little bit about what you do.
Okay. What do you want to know?
So, how did you get started with, first of all, let's tell everybody what Carolina Miracle League is.
Let's do that. All right. We are a nonprofit that provides baseball for special needs children. We adapt baseball so they can play because we believe every child should have the chance to play. Yeah. That's what we do in a nutshell. Simple.
And it is amazing to experience it. It's like, it's so awesome. It's great for the players, but it's so much more for the families and the friends and everybody that comes out to those events.
I agree.
So how did you get started with Miracle League?
Okay, so first, I am a mother of a special needs child, so that puts me over into that category. 2, I was in the right place at the right or wrong time, however you look at it. I served on the Disabilities and Special Needs Board for Spartanburg County. The staff person for Spartanburg County way back in 1998 brought a video in from home box office of a baseball field in Conyers, Georgia, with a rubber surface that was just for special needs kids. It was amazing. Nothing like this has been done. So our attitude was, if Conyers, Georgia can do it, so can we. So it started there. Had a steering committee, partnered with the Parks Department and the county, raised the money. Took us a long time, 6 years. It was during a recession. Raised the money, built the field. The Carolina Miracle League paid for everything that's above the ground that you see when you come to the field. We paid for all of that, and the Parks Department helps us maintain it. But we had to do all that. And then when they got to the part after the field's done, we got to the part that someone said, all right, somebody needs to form a league and start it. This is where I went crazy and said, how hard can it be? I'll do it. And that was with 50 players, and now we're up to 160. So
yeah, that's wild.
That's how it got started.
That's crazy. How many years have you been doing it now? So it's been
1998. This is my 27th year.
Wow.
I've seen a lot.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this from experience that, you know, I also have a special needs daughter. That's kind of how we got introduced to Miracle League. And we played here, and then we lived out in Salt Lake City, Utah for a while. And we played Miracle League ball out there. And when we played there, it made us realize how nice it is here because it's kind of night and day. And the concept's the same everywhere.
Yes.
But we just recently opened an office in Eastern North Carolina. And so I met with Monty, the director for Johnson County Miracle League. And he said this to me in the meeting when I was talking to him, like asking him, like, hey, how'd you get started with this or whatever? And he was like, well, basically, if no one runs it, it doesn't run. And so, you know, if no one's responsible, then, you know, and so I think some areas like municipalities try to like run it with a board or something, and it just doesn't really turn out the same way as what you have in Spartanburg because it's incredible. I mean, it's just ran so much better than any other program that I've personally been a part of. And we've, you know, partnered and done some stuff with other, you know, Miracle Leagues throughout the state and around the different areas that we service. And there's nothing that compares to those weeknight games over in Spartanburg.
Would you say it is organized different?
Oh, 100% from the ground up.
Okay, so your wife told me that story, and of course I went, I love it. My daughter served on Montgomery County in Maryland, on their board, and she said the same thing. It was just kind of helter-skelter. We are pretty firm and have rules and registration and guidelines and policies, and what I have discovered is that families like that.
For sure. Well, you run it like it's something worth running.
Right.
And it doesn't feel like an afterthought. It's very much planned, organized.
Right. And this is why we do it this way.
And I think another thing that makes it really unique here in Spartanburg is all the colleges and all the the buddy program and like the way all that works. Like I have to fight to get into buddy, and so and what a wonderful thing that is. Like because most places they're just desperate for anyone to show up and help, and here it's like you better get on the list early if you're coming out to help.
So we're booking buddies now. So what we have is 8 colleges around us. So we partner with those 8 colleges, and they get first choice for buddies. And so I am booking buddies currently, and they're bringing 40 athletic teams, 40 players on a team, for every night that we are playing ball. And they love it, and they want to come back. So, yes, that's a little gem for us that not every county gets.
Yeah, no, for sure. And when you think about Spartanburg, you don't think about it being like a college town, but it really is a heavy college town.
It is.
So.
And when those athletes, college students leave and go to other places, they remember that they played Miracle League ball, and then they either want to help financially support them, get on their boards, or figure out how to get their companies to be buddies. So it has a ripple effect as it goes.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, it's incredible. And like the thing for me is, again, it kind of comes down to that like personal experience with my own kid. Mm-hmm. And, I remember Hannah figured this thing out about Miracle League, and we went and signed up and didn't really know what to expect. And at that time, my daughter Haley was, I think, walking with a walker, and they had told us she would never walk. And so I remember we came out and played that first year, and I was so nervous because, like, I just think about how difficult it is sometimes to just do normal life stuff. And I was like, here we are, we're going to play baseball. Are you kidding me? And then when we came, it was so easy with how organized your buddy system was. I mean, we basically dropped her off at the the dugout, and
go get popcorn and a hot dog. We'll call you in a minute.
Yeah, we just watched her enjoy it, and we got to enjoy it. And it was just like this mental escape of like, hey, for an hour, we were almost like just a normal family, and it was so powerful. And then she enjoyed it so much, and it was just so inspiring to me to see all those kids and like all that stuff, and then be around for years and see all those kids like make huge strides.
Yes.
And like now most of them are all like grown up or as tall as I am now. And I'm like, I remember when you were this big, but
I know.
It's just incredible. And so like for me, I've always had a heart for it. And so when we, kick this thing off, like my passion's giving. So it's like, we got to figure out a way to get partnered up, and we, wanted to rally around something. And I was like, I know just what the thing is. And so everyone in the first year, it was kind of like, I'm just driving us there, and we're going to do this. And then everyone in my company just fully embraced it and bought in. So now like they come to me like, when are we doing another Miracle League thing? And so they're so excited to be a part of it, to where now it's like, I couldn't imagine if we didn't have a Miracle League partnership, because everyone's so fueled and fired up by it. And so one of the things that we decided to do inside of our company was, be about impact, not just income, and really try to put people over profits, all the things that people say. And I think everyone sets out wanting to do it. But if you don't plan to do it, you're never going to do it.
Right.
And so we just decided, hey, a percentage of our top line revenue is going to go to giving. And so we created some baskets. And for Miracle League is like our primary, this is where we want to put most of our emphasis for everything we do. There's other things that we get involved with in the community. A lot of it has to do with the special needs community. And Haley opens the doors for me to so many things. And every one of them, I'm like, I want to support this to the ends of the earth. But we dedicate that amount of money off of every single dollar that comes into our company. It just makes it easy because we set that up from the beginning. And so it's not like we're scrambling at the end going, well, we got to dig something together to give. We come into it saying, hey, that's not even ours, right? Like this money comes in, it's been set over here. We're going to give that back to the communities we serve. And it's just been really cool to see like that stewardship of that, the finances, but opened up the door for so many people to experience stuff that they never would have experienced. And like, I tell them all like, hey, it's cool to get behind giving, but until you come out there and like volunteer and experience it, you're never going to get the full effect.
But why would you come if you didn't have a special needs child or you weren't the grandparent? Why would you come?
Yep.
You normally would not.
That's right.
Now, I want you to know that we are self-funded. So we appreciate what you do for us. It gives us a little breathing room.
Yeah.
When you do that, what you do.
No, for sure. Well, again, and we know that. And so like the biggest thing is like, this is where, again, it comes back to like how well it's ran. So there's no question in my mind of like how y'all use funds, right? In my mind, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to give it to them because they've been, you just steward it well. Like you have such a good organization. Everything runs really smooth. And I know that behind the scenes that can be a dumpster fire. So it's like, because it's part of a business, right? We have the same thing. We have what the people see. And then behind the scenes, we're like, and so I can only imagine trying to orchestrate all the things that you're doing too. And like, so giving money to it's just a no-brainer. But the bigger piece to me is getting our people involved. And what was really fun for us was like, I'm always like pushing the envelope. So like, I just never can have like a simple idea and be like, let's just do something normal. I always have to like figure out a way to like, how do we push the envelope? And so last year, just last minute, just crazy. It was a Friday afternoon. We had been working we did the spring league, we did all this stuff. And I just was thinking like, we got to do something. And I left my office. It was a Friday, and someone had posted that they were renting out that water park, and I was like, "What a cool idea!" So I just called the water park, and it was like 4:45 on a Friday, and they answered. I was like, "Hey, I want to rent the water park," and they were like, "What day?" And I was like, "What Saturdays are available?" And they were like, "We only have one," and I was like, well, let's do that one. And so I just sent a message to our head of finance. Was like, hey, by the way,
write a check.
I rented the water park for a private event on this day. And he was like, for what? I was like, we're just gonna invite everybody to come and do something with Miracle League. And he's like, that's in like 3 weeks. I was like, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. And so
I'm sure you make them nervous.
So we did. We threw it together. We called it Summer Bash, like kicking off this thing. And like, but what was so fun was we had people who were building homes with us who had saw photos of like us doing these things. And we invited them to come. And then they came, and we had so many people come and be like, wow, it made us feel so good. Like, to be a part of that. And I told them like, yeah, you built a house. You are a part of this. And then we even had homeowners going, how do we volunteer? And I was like, this is how you get it, plugged in. And so it's just this big funnel effect. So we just sent out all these emails to everybody. We're like, hey, we rented the water park. We want you to come be a part of it. And I sent you an email and was like, please invite the entire league and all their families. Yep. And simultaneously, I invited every past, present, or future client that was in our database to come and hang out. And then I sent an email to all of our vendors and suppliers. And then after everybody started kind of RSVPing, I was like, well, it only holds 500 people. So let's see what happens. And then, we started getting all the feedback, and I was like, okay, this is going to be great. Everybody's going to be there. Nobody knows that the other people are coming. And so we're just going to have this big moment out here at the water park. And so I picked up the phone, called some people. We organized some stuff, and then we were able to like pull it all together at the last minute and just do one big push and give. And that was kind of the moment for us where it was like, we've been talking about this. Now it's time to take action. And in a growing company, a new company that's moving at a crazy rate of speed, letting go of funds sometimes, like, it puts you in a place where you're like, do I really mean what I say? And so it was a cool challenge, because a lot of people in our company was like, oh, they really do live by this, And so that moment will always be the moment where the reality that we are who we say we are became true. And like from that, everyone in our company is just so bought in around this moment where here we are hanging out at the water park with families that they probably would never have any other interaction with, and just seeing the impact of just taking a moment to realize who your neighbors are, what you can do when you do show up, and you show up different, and you put focus on something other than yourself for just a minute. And it was incredible. Like, and so now they come to me, they're like, when are we doing the next summer bash? When are we doing
what I'm
this?
saying. When are we doing the next summer bash? So from our perspective, to see our kids who maybe had never been in a lazy river, stepped in an inner tube, did any of that business, see them get involved, get in the water, ride the little lazy river around. The smiles on their faces are as big as can be. Again, a new experience for them, and they absolutely loved it. Yep. It was so much fun.
Yep.
When are you doing it again? We all want to do it.
So that's a good point. We are doing it again. This year, I think I
think the numbers are going to be overwhelming because the ones who didn't come saw the videos and the pictures, and they're like, "Why didn't we not go? Yeah. Oh my gosh! You better watch because I believe we'll fill it up."
That's good. I hope we do. We'll just have to do 2 nights, and then we'll just keep growing. If Nate's listening right now, he's like, "Never let TJ alone again." But the goal is to do it at the end of school year this year is our goal, because last year that time kind of pushing back into school, just weird, but it was kind of last minute.
Well, you only had one day to choose from.
That's right. So this year the goal is to do it right towards the end of school. Everybody's coming off, spring season's kind of wrapping up, school's ending, and then have this big event. And so we're planning to release a date here in the next couple of weeks.
Okay.
So we've already done some pre-planning and all that stuff. We have some other things that we're hoping to bring into that event. And we've got crazy buy-in. We had a vision meeting, even with some of our subcontractors. And the question was, how do we get involved with Summer Bash? And so they want to be involved to be a part of that. And so it's just really cool because it started with, like, go back in time. You know, you had this experience. You had a child with special needs that, you know, you got to see the benefit of it from a personal level.
Yes.
But also, I remember being in a position where the first year we played, I had to borrow money to pay the registration fee. Like, I personally couldn't afford for my daughter to play. Mm-hmm. And to go from that, and I remember, you know, wanting to be in a moment, like, I remember thinking, like, God, I've got a heart to do stuff. I just need money.
Yes.
And so as the doors were open and we created this environment, to be able to turn around and be like, let's just do it. It changed everything for me personally. And then again, the trickle down effect of that has been huge. And so, I'm excited about the spring season and getting cranked back up. And I just posted yesterday, like, the buddy dates for my team, and they're like already, I think, full. So they were like, well, we'll be over there immediately and sign up. So, I had an interview this morning with one of our, employees, Olivia, and she was like, we got signed up yesterday. She's like, I'm so excited. Just so, like, they're excited to come back out and do the bud. They're more excited about the buddying than anything.
It's a win-win.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered who has the most fun.
Yeah.
The buddies or the players?
Yeah.
It's very close.
It depends on the night.
Yes, it's very close. Now, Miss Marketing over there, I'll need a flyer for the bash.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
No, for sure.
Yes, we're going to push this.
We'll do Young Jenna. Young Jenna, if you could get the flyer. No, but yeah, we're definitely going to pump it up, and it's going to be leveled up.
Can I tell you what else happened at that bash?
Yeah.
So 3 of us mothers, Haley was passing out the glow sticks like nobody's business, and they were in different sizes. So 3 of us mothers were over there acting like we were teenagers again. We had the glow sticks everywhere. The crown, the queen, the beauty queen sash. We had the most fun, and we were able to just relax, laugh, and have some fun.
Yep.
No, the children were over there in the pool. It was so fun all the way around for everybody. It was very relaxing and laughing-filled night. It was great.
Yeah. No, it was awesome. Everyone who came to that was just like, this was so good. And I was thinking, like, if this was that great on such short notice, what's possible? And so I'm excited.
Don't overthink it.
No, I'm excited for what's coming, because I just wanted to I want more people to get access to get involved with something that's so powerful that most people don't even know exists.
Right.
And
we are changing lives with this simple game of baseball.
Yep.
You can see it happen.
Yep. And it's not just the people on the field; it's the people in the bleachers.
Yes.
It's
the buddies. It's the board members. It's the people, the ladies running concessions. Yes.
Yeah. So if people are out there wondering, like, when we talk about giving, and that's one of our core values, the N in Barndo stands for never stop giving, because the moment that you stop, you lost sight of what you started for. And so, this is it. This is the face of what we do here in our, Duncan office. This is where we started. So like you were the first partner we made there. And so like as we move across, like I said, we've partnered with other leagues that are in Miracle League. We have a Somerville office. We partner with the Somerville Miracle League. It's a little bit smaller. They run like Saturday morning games. It's fun. We just moved up to Dunn. And Dunn's one of those situations. Like the town has a super nice Miracle League park, but no one runs it. And so
who built it?
The city. The mayor at the time built that park, but they had like a commit. They didn't have anyone to run it. And so
you got to have a committed somebody.
Yeah, that's right. It has to be a person,
yes,
not a board. No. But just one county over is Johnson County. And so like I met Monty and he's like, comes in and he's like this firecracker. And I'm like, how did you get involved with this? He's like, funny story. I don't know. He's like, I don't have a kid that played. I had nothing. I saw a video and it sparked something in me and I wanted to do this. And so, we were excited to partner with him and, set that up. And so our philosophy is like when we move into a new market, we write a donation check before we sign before we pay a rent payment or a lease payment or whatever we're doing in that space. Like, but before we pay a bill, we write a donation check. And so that's kind of our growth strategy.
Can I get some credit for that? Can you tell these other leagues?
Yeah, for sure. Like I planted the seeds for you guys to reap the harvest.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's kind of one of those things like when I like it's very easy to look at it and say it's just not as good. It's a different thing to come in and say let's make it that good, and that's a big burden. And I know the individuals that are running it are probably doing the best they can with what they've got. And so it's like one of those things like, how can I come in and just take some of the weight? And some people will let you. Some people won't. Some people, there's egos and everything. And so some people don't. They're like, no, it's great. This is good. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's what you want, that's great. We'll support you. But some people have been like, yes, help. How are y'all doing? I remember, I tell everybody we go, we're opening some offices in Tennessee. So I'm up there having conversations like, hey, where do y'all play Miracle League ball? And everybody, yes, they do. But they're looking at us going, what is that? And so we have to do a lot of digging to find the people that are doing it.
Yes.
And when we find them, they're like, how did you find us? We're like, we were looking really
You're now
hard.
the ambassador across the nation for Miracle League.
Yeah, we were looking really hard, but we're here now. So we want to help. And so that's, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird how life works that, that Haley, someone happened to give us a flyer to play Miracle
Way back
League
when.
ball.
How old was she then?
4.
She was young. Yeah.
That's 10 years ago.
That's before we got smart and changed it to 6. Lord have mercy.
I remember
those years about did us in.
I'll tell you right now, whoever her buddies were, I just remember thinking like, look at them. Look at those saints of the Lord out there running.
You know what Lord, I know. Golly. Yeah, we raced it to 6. It's a little easier.
Yeah.
Not quite ready at 4.
Yeah.
But we gave him a chance.
Yeah.
Gave him a chance.
Yeah, she was having.
But I remember her that she batted with the one hand, and she learned how to do it. Mm-hmm. So if you just let them practice every week, they learn how to make it work for them.
That's right.
At their own ability, and she does it beautifully now.
Yeah, and has a blast doing it. It's like her favorite thing in the world, and so we love it. So that, again, the simple game of baseball.
Very simple,
and it changes lives.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
So let me ask you this:
Ask me
if someone was listening to this and they were like, I want to get involved with Miracle League to some degree, what is the easiest way? So like if they're here local and are wanting to tie in just to figure out what does that look like? Like how do I donate money? How do I show up at games? Like how do I tell people that I may know that have special needs children that would maybe benefit from this? What is the first step for them to plug in with Carolina Miracle League?
All right, so we have a website, CarolinaMiracleLeague.org. We have a office located on East Main Street of Spartanburg. Good central location. We have a Facebook page, Carolina Miracle League. You can call us. You can come see us. We're there Monday through Thursday to answer questions and to be there. I'll show you my draft lottery boards where we put them on teams. That's the most impressive thing. When you see 160 names on 12 teams, and you see the impact that we are making on that many children and that many families, that's my marketing tool is the draft lottery board where we place them. Oh. So that's how. Just any of those, call us, come see us.
Yep, do it. Get involved. And let me ask you this. So maybe someone's listening to this and they're like Googling right now and they don't have a Miracle League. What is the steps to start one?
So there is a National Miracle League in Georgia. Mm-hmm. You can always call there to find out where's the closest field. I get emails from them all the time from families trying to find somebody. And they will send you to a director in an area that you may not know about. Now, if you want to, and you also go through them to start a field.
Right.
They have the manual, the how to do it, the vendors. That's how it starts. That's how we did it.
So let's do this. Let's dive in. 27 years doing this. Mm-hmm. There got to be some funny stories in there.
Oh my gosh!
Or some life-changing stuff that you've experienced.
I've had some life-changing things that make me come back year after year after year. Mm-hmm. My favorite one probably is Michael Sellers. Do you know Michael?
I know Michael.
Okay, so when Michael came, I just want to tear up when I tell these stories. Michael's family drove him from Gaffney, that's where they live, from Gaffney, to play ball. But before that, he went to the Shriners Hospital in Greenville every single week for therapy. He has CP, and he has a very hard gait. So they were trying to get him walking. So he came to us young, had a walker that he pulled behind him, not pushed. He pulled it behind him. He came up to bat one night. He hit the ball. He took 5 steps with his walker. He stopped, and we're all going, come on, Michael. Run, Michael, run, Michael. He let go of the walker for the very first time, went to first base, stopped. Next batter came up. He went to second. Next batter came. He went to third. Then on the little route from third to home, it was very hard for him because he had now exhausted his muscles, but he finally made it. He crawled into home plate. There was not a dry eye in the park. It was the most phenomenal thing. That moment, because this little simple game of baseball, that moment, he knew he could walk without that walker. He plays today. He's over 6 feet tall. He is this far. You can't see me, but 2 inches. He is this far from hitting that ball over the fence.
I know
it may go this spring.
Yep. And he can round them bases now.
And he can round the bases. Now, when I see him running it to me at full speed, I go, oh, my gosh, I'm going down. We're going down. We're going down. Yes, because he's still unsteady. But look what he has accomplished. You know what else he does? He sings the national anthem for us.
He does. He does a good job, too.
Yes, he does.
I love it.
Here's another one. I love this one. I had the Coon brothers. They were young, very young. He had autism. So he came out to play. It's loud. It's overwhelming. It's new. He was a little overwhelmed by the whole process. Started to have a meltdown. Now, this is the key. His mother did not give up. She picked him up, took him to home plate. They got a hit. She got the hit. She took a hit for him. He's carrying on. He's having a meltdown. She takes him to first. They go through that whole routine. Takes him to first, takes him to second, gets him to third. She modeled the behavior he was supposed to have. She set the example, and she applied discipline. When he came back the second week, he thought he was a professional ball player. That was it. And do you know what he does now? He stopped playing with us because now he's playing touch football.
That's awesome.
So just let me get some confidence, let me get a little skills, and then I can go on and do something else.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's sometimes it's hard to connect. Like if you haven't experienced some of this stuff, but someone is listening that has a special needs child, and they're thinking like, "How in the world my kid could never play this?"
Do you know who I have the most problems with? Listen to me, parents. The parents believe that they can't do it, or they won't do it, or they'll embarrass them, or it won't be perfect.
Yep.
We don't care.
Yeah.
The goal is we'll get a hit somehow and we'll get to first base. And then next week we'll work on it a little more. Yep. And by the end of the season, they'll be getting their own hits. What we see with a brand new player is by the third game they can hit a pitch ball. Not all of them, but the majority of them.
Yep.
And we will get them around the bases. And my goodness, they think they're rock stars.
Well, what's great about it, it's such a judgment-free zone. It is a place to live. And everywhere you go, if you're listening to this and you've got a special needs family member, you know the pressure.
Yes.
It doesn't exist there.
Right.
This is normal now. Like we are all in this together.
You're in our part.
Yeah. It's so I remember I had the same anxiety around it, like, oh boy, here we go. And then you get there and you're like, okay, wait, everybody's having an oh boy.
That's right.
This is fun. And so.
And we have more of those on Thursdays. The older they get, the less of that we get.
Yeah, but it is absolutely incredible to experience. And again, we could sit here and talk about it all day long. You have to experience it. You have to get out there and experience the joy on a kid's face.
Yes.
From hitting a ball.
When they hit a pitched ball, their eyes light up and they know they have instantly done something.
Yes.
It is incredible. Now, let me tell you, parents, this 6 to 11 is when we experience the most behavior.
Yep.
When they go up to the 12 to 20 group,
yep.
It's the sweet spot. They're past all that. They've learned. They've developed. They know who they are. They're getting the confidence. Stick with it through the 6 to 11. Yep. Stick with it.
Yeah, we're there now with Haley. Like, it's night and day different. Like, now it's enjoyable. Like, to the point, where she's equally as excited as we are to be there.
Yes. You have to get through the 6 to 11. You have to get through that time frame.
That's incredible.
Okay, one more story.
Yeah, let's
got
hear
a minute?
Yeah.
All right, so this is Katrina. She's older. She was 20 years old. She had brittle bone disease, so she had a lot of surgeries. Wasn't very trusting, had a lot of anxiety. Her sister started the season before, and she did well, and so she brought Katrina, her older sister, with her. Just very angsty the whole time. Well, she aged up for the next season and had to go to the next division and couldn't play the same night that her sister played. She wasn't coming back. I'm not coming back. I stayed after her. Oh, you got to come back. I want to play with you. You've got to come back. Well, finally, she decided she liked baseball better than not, so she came back on Tuesday. Now, let me tell you about what she's doing now. She is singing the national anthem. She is learning to hit a pitched ball from a seated position because that's all she can do. Somebody believed in her, somebody gave her the chance, and she took the ring and ran with it. And now she's very confident. I love this one. She said to her mother, "Why doesn't Pam ask me to sing the national anthem?" And her mother said, "Well, I don't know that she knows you can." So I said, "Would you like to sing the national anthem?" "Yes, I would." And she did it beautifully. That's just all confidence right there.
100%. No, it's incredible. I again, a lot of this is how well the organization's ran here in Spartanburg, that you get all these moments and you get, all the custom entrances and so you got,
your walk-up music is very important.
Yes. You got to have the right bat and the right walk-up music.
Yes. And a lot of times it's the color of the bat.
That's right.
It's not the weight of the bat, it's the color of the bat.
That's right. It's got to go. It's got to look good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but no, it's such a fun thing. And so the biggest thing was, I just wanted to come on here and just say, I'm so thankful that you provide this, because it takes a lot of work. And I mean, there's days where I'll tell Hannah, I'm like, I don't know how she does it. Like, it is crazy. I tried to get together just a small basketball, like a winter basketball thing. Just not even a league, just thing. And it was so difficult to even coordinate the beginning steps of that I was thinking to myself, how in the world? And I'm a pretty resourceful guy. And I'm like, to run this at that scale?
It's kind of on its tracks now.
Yeah.
We're into our 17th season. So the beginning, the growth, that was where it would get, iffy. We got to go, oh my gosh, we now got to go to 2 nights. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
We got to have sponsors. We got to have everything. And now it kind of runs on a track because we've done it and we found what works and what doesn't work. And we found what rules need to stay in place and what we need to bend. The longevity does help with where we are now. But I have hired a full-time assistant because we've reached that place. It's hard to handle 160 by yourself.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's a little hard. So that has been a great addition to what we're doing.
Well, cool. Well, this episode is going to drop like the week before the season kicks off, so it's going to be really awesome. So we're excited to have the spring season back.
So let me tell you when we play.
Yeah.
March the 25th, I think, is the first day. We play Monday nights. That's our older children. We have players that play on Monday night that are now aging. That's how old they are. They're 66, 50, 66. They're now in the aging process, and we let them play at their pace. Tuesdays, my goodness, the sweet spot. These are the ones. They are 12 to 20, and they are on it. They are hot, bringing in the smoke. They love it. And then we have the little ones that we're trying to train up. So That's on Thursday night.
Yep. So 3 nights a week, and the season runs what? It's a
6 weeks.
Yep. It's a
Yes, we barely know what our names are at the end of the season.
Well,
Just drag me behind the car home.
Well, we're extremely excited for the spring season, and my people were so excited that I posted those dates for the buddying, and they were like jumped on it. I was like, "Hey guys, here they are!" And my assistant taped them up on the door, and before I even left that day, like names are just filled to the brim on them. And
see, but that excitement adds to ours. We hardly ever have buddies that don't want to be there.
Yeah.
But when you bring that kind of excitement, when you bring your excitement with our excitement, boom, it's an explosion.
Yep. No, it's awesome. And then again, Summer Bash this year, we will be releasing dates on that very, very soon. We're really, really excited about the opportunity to do it again this year and partner up and just bring it together and give more people the ability to give and experience it and see what it looks like firsthand and try to like capture some more of that so that the clients can see the stuff that are building with us and people get an idea of what it looks like when we say, hey, every dollar spent, X goes here, and so when they see that in action, and that's the most powerful thing is to bring you in and be like, this is what it's funding. Like you're a firecracker in the space of Miracle League baseball. You know what I mean? Like there's no mystery as to why it runs so well here. I mean, and you're extremely passionate about it. And so, and I was like harassing you for years, like I need to get involved somehow. And I'm like,
here's a list.
I don't have time or money, but
but the other thing I want you to know is that we are making Spartanburg a much better place to live. Don't you want to live in a town that takes care of their special needs kids?
100%.
That does it at this level and for this many? Don't you want to be a part of that?
And to think that in Spartanburg County, there's 160 kids playing baseball with special needs.
And 13% of across school districts have special needs. So we're just, I don't want to say this too loud. We're just barely tapping it. We are going to need a second field. I will tell you that we're going to need a second field to accommodate them.
There it is.
There it is.
There's the challenge that's been issued.
Parks Department and I have this conversation about every month. Where are we going? What are we going to do?
All right, guys. So now it's time for the Barn Burner segment, and this will be a fun one. So normally in the Barn Burner segment, we have guests on here, and we get questions from our Facebook community. We have a Facebook group about barndominiums, like 500-something people in it, and they have no shortage of questions about how to build a barn and hurdles inside of that. So we want to tap in your expertise inside of building custom homes. I'm just playing. So we catered.
Go for it.
We catered some questions specific to what you do. And so the first one is, could you describe some of the program services and events that Carolina Miracle League offers to participants and their families? And I would say what leagues do you have? But in addition to that, y'all do some really cool stuff.
We do. So we are the only league here in Spartanburg and surrounding communities. I've got them driving from Clinton, Simpsonville, Gaffney to come play ball with us because they don't have it in their own communities. But here's the two things that we do that are very special. We do an Easter egg hunt every spring, right at Easter time. You know what we discovered? That just because a special needs child is 30 doesn't mean that they don't want to still go hunt Easter eggs. But people tend to frown upon that because when they see the size of them, because you think this is just for little children. So we do an Easter egg hunt for everybody from age 6 to 66. And it is a great event with Easter bunny, mascot, and eggs and prizes and all kinds of fun things and games. That is one thing we do. The biggest and best thing we do is our trunk or treat event at the end of October. Yep. Again, the same thing. Some of these kids would look like they should have aged out of going trunk or treating, but they still want to do it.
Yep.
And we want to give them a safe environment where we model the behavior, how to do it. We put people around them to keep them safe, and we set them free in a parking lot that is full of 50 trunks full of candy, and they go for it. We also have dancing, a dance contest, costume contest. We have all these things. I believe that if you give them opportunities, they will learn, they will grow, and they will be the very best that they can be. So I try to provide that. We did a little carnival at our 15th anniversary. We had rides. Does your child know how to ride a ride at the fair? Do you want to practice with us, just being around your peers? And then maybe you could go to Disney World and go ride the big rides. Those are the kind of things we like to promote just so that we can train them up.
I love it. And you always got so much like forethought into like, it's not just an event, it's equipping them.
No, that's the deal.
Skills. Yeah.
And you know why? Because I have a special needs child. You got to equip them. My child could ride on an airplane. He could go anywhere, go in any restaurant, do any kind of things. But we had to practice first.
That's right.
Before they got better at it.
That's so good.
Thank you.
So good. All right. Second barn burner.
Okay, let me tell you this about events.
Here
we have become a clearinghouse. The Carolina Miracle League, here's my list. We have become a clearinghouse for when we started, we were it. But because we've had a paradigm shift, people see that if you give special needs an opportunity, they'll do it. So we've become the clearinghouse for all the other organizations around town that would like to have special needs kids in their programs. So they come to us. That's awesome. That we will share it with our people. And so we have a little resource guide that we pass out so that, again, just more things for them to do.
Yeah, that's incredible because, you come in, you're like, hey, we'll play baseball this spring, and then you have all these other great opportunities and resources and ways for them to get connected.
It's very important to be part of the Miracle League. We got all the secrets.
That's right. You heard it here first, folks. Yes. So second question is, and this is going to be a hard one for you to answer. What do you enjoy most about what you do?
The thing that brings tears to my eyes is when I see them overcome their obstacles. These kids have obstacles. Autism, they got to deal with their mental, their emotions, the physical. Michael Sellers is going to hit a home run, and we are going to bring the house down when it happens. Because we've watched him do it now for 12, 15 years. We've watched him get to this moment. It is going to happen. Those are the things that keep me going.
I'm calling it First Tuesday.
I hope it is the first Tuesday. The other thing that brings me joy is when I see parents helping their children overcome.
Yeah. When
they stick with it. They don't give up. They stick with them. It's uncomfortable. It's awkward. But I'm telling you, if we can get them past age 11, you are going to have the greatest rewards.
Yep.
Those are the things that make me happy. It's not how to build a roster and how to build a schedule.
Well, something you said, and I shared this with my team at our annual retreat, was awkward is both necessary or a barrier.
Yes.
For you to reach the next level.
Yes.
So if you are afraid to become awkward, it will be a barrier to growth. Mm-hmm. But if you're willing to get awkward, it is necessary for growth.
Yes.
And so same thing's true here.
Yes.
It's going to be, you're going to have those moments.
You're going to be a parent sitting in the stand and you're going, everybody's going to know this is your child out there acting up and you're going to be awkward. It'll get better next week. Stick with it.
That's right.
Give them a chance.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
No, that's great. And hearing
that's
it from
a good
you,
word.
And to hear it from you, I mean, it gives permission, right? It gives permission for me to come and let my kid be my kid.
Yes.
So
we don't expect them to be perfect. We know. Hint. We know they have special needs. Yeah. We've seen over 700 come through our program. Yeah. We've seen what it looks like.
Yep.
I had a therapist tell me we had a little child that had his little comfort toy. And it was a spoon. And the therapist said, y'all didn't even bat an eye at the spoon. What? No, he can hold the spoon and the bat at the same time, but eventually he'll drop the spoon, but let's help him get to that point.
Right. That's awesome. And then the last one, what are your goals and aspirations for the future of Carolina Miracle League?
You know, it's so funny. My assistant and I had this conversation today, and I have this conversation with the parks director. And if y'all don't know John Woodsby, he is for us. He believes in us and what we're doing. He's been very good. We're going to have to go to 2 fields. The staffing it is going to be a problem. I wear my board out. We play 6 weeks, 3 nights a week. We wear out our people. They all have jobs to go to the next day. Those are the things. But we're going to have to go to 2 fields. I would like to have digital videos on those fields that plays walk-up music and shows their picture and all that fun stuff that they get to see. That's where we are. We are on the cusp of a second field, on the cusp.
I love it.
And how does it look? I don't know.
2 fields of dreams.
2 fields. 2 fields. Build it, they will come. And I do believe that. Build it and they will come.
100%.
Yep.
We believe it too. Well, it's been so much fun having you on the podcast. I hopefully that more people get access to what you offer because it's absolutely incredible and life-changing. And we're happy to be a part of it and be able to give and support and do whatever we can. We're just a company that builds barndominiums that happens to love kids with special needs and the game of baseball. So it's a great fit.
Can you not love kids with special needs?
Yeah.
They give you the most love.
That's great. So again, you guys can check Pam and her organization out at CarolinaMiracleLeague.org. There's a great way to get involved there. There's a way to donate straight through the website, so you can get behind it. Maybe you're listening and you're like, I just feel compelled to give. We love that, and we want you to. So
yes.
Go to CarolinaMiracleLeague.org and give as much as you feel called to give.